words of my homie, he gonna say, he said, don't mind the kids, you gotta give him a pass. This kid can't get a pass. He gotta pay.
I'm not married. We're gonna do what we wanna do. We're gonna live our lives.
Everybody get on the elevator.
Yeah, remember we did this last time we came. When Danny fought Vida. Oh.
What's up, mate?
What's up?
How are you? You alright?
Yeah.
You said to your dad, still not sure how we walked ourselves into this one. Thank God.
You don't know, boy. Tired?
Yes.
Show me off. That was good. Good, yeah.
Ready for some action today?
Yeah.
Let's get in his face. Tuck said he's going to rip your heart out.
Oh yeah.
That's it?
Oh, that's good.
He said it, didn't he?
That's what he said?
Yeah, you see it?
You believe that?
No, but he said it. You know what I mean?
He's a
I mean,
baby.
you gotta say that.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
He a baby. He don't believe it at all.
Young folk got all that heart, man. You know? That's it.
We're thankful we took the fight. Right. Respect for that. But big mistake. Big mistake.
For sure.
Ever since he started hanging around with Bad Bunny, he's fucking gone through that.
Hey.
I got to say.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'm hurting. I promise you. Watch.
What? Bless you.
Watch.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
You alright? Good? Yeah.
Hey, you're right.
You're going right there in that room.
Come on. You're too far back. Oh, this is yeah. Stay ready. Don't stand ready.
Slow down.
There's a lot of things that I can take advantage of. I got the speed, I got the power, I got the technique, I got the length, I got the strength, I got the IQ. There's a lot of things I can take into consideration when it comes to breaking down his style.
But he also mentions that you get hit a lot.
The same way he does.
To avoid that.
The same way he does. Try to move my head the same way he tried to move his head.
Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel.
You took this fight and showed your confidence.
Yeah.
Why do you think he put a 55-45 to try to double your confidence?
Because that was the first thing or negotiation they had with Virgil. 55-45 to the winner. But again, me bringing in 2 belts and giving him the opportunity for 2 belts when I didn't need to, I feel like a 50-50 was being generous to him because I could have asked for more.
We are now just weeks away from what many boxing fans believe could become one of the most important fights of the year. Undefeated star Jaron Boots Ennis is preparing to move up to the super welterweight division for a massive showdown against unified champion Xander Zayas. It is the kind of fight that has everything boxing fans love: 2 unbeaten fighters, 2 confident personalities, and 2 competitors determined to prove they belong at the very top of the sport. For Ennis, this fight represents an opportunity to conquer a new division and further strengthen his reputation as one of boxing's most dangerous fighters. For Zayas, it is a chance to silence doubters and prove that he is much more than a young champion benefiting from favorable circumstances. When these two men finally meet on June 27th, only one undefeated record will survive, and the winner could emerge as the new face of the 154-pound division.
27th will be the day the world sees who's the true master of the division.
What's your weight? What's your weight class?
154.
150. You 154?
154. That's what I fight at. How about your weight right now, though?
I was about to say. You don't look 154.
Nah, I fight 154, but obviously I have a nutritionist team that work with me and stuff. And they get me ready for fight night.
Yeah.
So I just got to weigh 154. The 26 and then the 27.
26, 27?
27 is fight
Is
night.
it a big fight?
Biggest fight of my career.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of that scene on Rocky when Apollo Creed was negotiating and he was talking to his lawyers. Remember, he was in a suit and tie. And his trainer was like, "Hey, Apollo, you may want to look at this." He said, yeah, whatever. He was like, "Hey, man, this guy looks serious." He said, "I'll knock him out in 3. And Rocky was punching the meat in the freezer. Remember that? That's what this shit reminds me of. It's like, yeah, Boots will beat him. And bruh, I'm just saying, don't be shocked if after the fight, y'all say, if he wasn't so young, if he had a little bit more experience, that would have been a Xander Zayas win. Don't be.
Despite the excitement surrounding the fight, much of the boxing world appears hesitant to give Xander Zayas a realistic chance of victory. Many fans and analysts view Boots Ennis as the superior fighter and believe this matchup will expose the young champion. However, those who have closely followed the build-up have noticed something different. Zayas has shown no signs of intimidation. Throughout interviews, press conferences, and media appearances, he has carried himself with confidence and composure. Physically, he also appears to hold certain advantages. Having spent his entire recent career competing at super welterweight, Zayas is naturally larger and more accustomed to the division than Ennis. During their face-offs, many observers were surprised by the size difference, with Zayas looking every bit like a seasoned 154-pound champion prepared for the biggest challenge of his career.
Oh, me. Yeah, touch him. That's the closest you're gonna get to them. That's the closest you're gonna get to them. I guarantee that. I promise you that. Xander, make no mistakes. I never made this career long. Nobody 54. I'm gonna show you. Second fight. I'm gonna show you. I guarantee you, but I make no mistakes. I ain't gonna miss. Small, man. You're small. You small. You're a baby. I'm gonna show you.
Guys, very confident going into this fight.
Hey guys, let's try ahead, boys.
That way.
One thing that has become clear throughout the promotion is that Xander Zayas is not interested in accepting the role of underdog. While countless fans continue predicting a dominant victory for Boots Ennis, Zayas remains fully convinced that he can shock the world. Every interview has reflected that belief. Rather than appearing nervous or overwhelmed by the challenge, he has spoken with determination and confidence. Zayas understands the magnitude of the fight, but he also believes that many observers are overlooking key aspects of his game. During recent interviews, he acknowledged Ennis' talent while simultaneously insisting that every fighter has weaknesses. According to Zayas, his team has spent months studying Boots, identifying potential openings, and preparing a game plan capable of producing a major upset.
Yeah, what's different about this camp? Obviously, like, I mean, you could say this is probably your biggest fight of your career so far. Like, what are you doing differently in this camp?
Nothing. Having the same fun, keeping the same energy. I enjoy being in camp. I enjoy having my people around. So, to be honest, it's been pretty much the same, obviously. Working on the things we need to work on, preparing for Boots Ennis, but other than that, pretty much same thing, same energy.
Is there anything specific about Boots that you're working on specifically for this camp? Obviously, like at the press, you guys talked about the lack of head movement or whatever, so like there's certain things that you're honing in on to exploit Boots?
I mean, yeah, of course, there's always things. Again, there's a lot of holes that I know I can take advantage of come fight night, but don't want to discuss them on cameras because obviously it's part of the game plan.
Some may say Boots has been avoided. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know where it comes from. He's a good fighter, but I don't know where it comes that he's been avoided. I don't know by who or some of those names. I don't get it.
So then, for you being 23, unified champ, fighting Boots, that's a huge fight. At your age and your division, what does that say about your character?
Man, I'm here to chase legacy. I've always said it. I want to be the best in boxing. I want to be the best in my division, in every division that I touch, and this is the way to do it, fighting the best, beating.
Zayas also addressed the criticism surrounding his age and experience. At only 23 years old, many believe he is taking an enormous risk by facing a fighter as talented and dangerous as Boots Ennis. However, Zayas completely rejects the idea that he is too young for this opportunity. He believes maturity is measured by preparation, discipline, and mindset rather than age alone. Throughout the build-up, he has repeatedly emphasized that he has dedicated his life to boxing and feels ready for the biggest challenges available. More importantly, he hopes his willingness to take difficult fights sends a message to the next generation of fighters. Rather than avoiding dangerous opponents, Zayas wants young champions to embrace major challenges early in their careers and prove themselves against the best competition possible.
Your age, considering the fights that you've
Yes,
been
of course. I feel like I'm very mature for my age, and I've gotten the experience that I need. I've gone rounds. I've seen everything that I need to see. I've gotten hit. I've been able to adjust. I think I've done everything. I know how to fight on the inside. I know how to fight on the outside. I know how to counter punch. I got great speed, great power. I feel like I do everything pretty well. So yes, I do feel like I have the experience.
So with this fight with Boots, do you feel like this might start a new era of boxing with a win over Boots and just like having young fighters fight each other in their primes or the best fighting the best?
I hope so. I mean, we made a big fight happen. Two big fighters, two young fighters, hungry fighters wanting to chase legacy. We made it happen, and so I feel like it should set an example for the future. But again, who knows? I mean, every fighter is different. Everybody lives a different lifestyle, and I can't be the one to say yes, I want it, or it's gonna be like that. I would love for.
Another topic that generated attention involved Zayas' comments regarding Boots and his professional resume. Throughout Fight Week discussions, Zayas has occasionally suggested that Ennis receives enormous praise despite not having victories over many elite names. However, he later clarified that these comments were not intended to disrespect Ennis. Instead, Zayas believes fans sometimes exaggerate certain accomplishments while overlooking the achievements of others. He acknowledged that Boots remains one of the most talented fighters in the sport today, but maintained that talent alone does not guarantee victory. According to Zayas, many fans have already dismissed his chances before the fight even begins, something that only motivates him further as he prepares for the biggest night of his career.
So with that, I know you've called him overrated in the past. So do you feel like it's right to call him at this point, or
who I call? Yeah, I feel like he's a good fighter. And you can't take the facts away. He's a unified world champion at 147. Those are facts. But I feel like people that he has fought have been tailor-made for his style and what he does and what he brings to the table.
So, do you think he's in for a shock on fight night when he steps in the ring with Xander Zayas?
I feel like everybody will be in for a shock. Every single one of my opponents have been into a shock every time they step into the ring with me. It's easy to see me and, oh, he's a 23, the 22-year-old kid, just young kid, no experience. Once he get hit, he's gonna want to get it right back. And it's a whole different story when you step in there with me and you see the knowledge and the maturity I have inside that ring.
Definitely. So, headlining a fight in New York, being Puerto Rican, right? Obviously, there's plenty of legends that headline in New York, Tito, Cotto, etc. So, what would that mean for you as a Boricua, notching a huge win in New York?
Man, this will be my 9th time in the city, in the Big Apple. First time at Barclays Center, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. I feel like the city has become part of who I am, and it represents me. I represent them. I enjoy and love the energy they always bring into every fight. So I can't wait to be back there and keep putting.
Part of the reason many fans overlook Zayas is because he has quietly built his career without receiving the same level of attention as some of the division's bigger names. While fighters like Boots Ennis, Sebastian Fundora, and Virgil Ortiz often dominate headlines, Zayas has largely remained under the radar despite becoming a unified world champion. As a result, many casual fans simply have not studied his style closely enough to appreciate his strengths. Those who have followed his career understand that he combines technical boxing ability with excellent discipline and composure. While he may not possess the same level of hype as some of his rivals, supporters believe he has the skills necessary to make this fight far more competitive than many experts predict.
One of the most highly anticipated fights that can be made in the States is happening June the 27th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and that's Xander Zayas defending his 2 titles at 154 against Jaron Boots Ennis. This is a fantastic matchup, and I'm going to say right off the bat, I tip my hat to Xander Zayas for putting his belt on the line and fighting possibly the best guy at 154 right now, a guy that people look at as the boogeyman at 54, and there's a reason for that. Boots is a crazy talent, physically gifted, has been developed throughout his professional career and is looking to really blow up, and this is a huge opportunity for him. You know, Xander Zayas has 2 titles in one of the deepest weight classes in the world, if not the deepest weight class, 154. So it's a fantastic matchup. It's also an interesting style mesh. You got Boots Ennis, who's got that Philly style. He's hyper aggressive. He fights in the pocket, high contact fighter, good power with both hands, good hand speed, good boxing IQ, good technique, you name it. Boots has got it. But again, like a Philly fighter, he likes high contact. He likes to be in the pocket. He likes to trade. He likes to break you down, walk you down. Problem with fighting a guy like Xander, Xander's a mover. Xander's a mover and a jabber. He's got great endurance. He's got a good arm length. He's very tall and long, and he knows how to use it. He also knows exactly what he's not. He knows he's not going to go out there and blast you out like a Felix Trinidad. He's a boxer, mover, scoring points, and looking to outbox you and use his smarts. He's also got a great gas tank. Kid doesn't get tired, you know, even late in a fight. So it's an interesting style matchup. I know a lot of people are looking at this like, no, Boots is gonna wash him. You'd be surprised. Xander Zayas, with his skill set, I think could get anyone in the division a lot of trouble. But this is why we fight the fights, and we'll see how it all shakes out on June the 27th.
Unfortunately for Zayas, several respected boxing voices still believe he faces an uphill battle against Ennis. Veteran trainer Kenny Ellis was among those who questioned Zayas' chances of pulling off the upset. While Ellis praised the young champion's talent and acknowledged his strong fundamentals, he pointed to specific habits that could become problematic against a fighter like Boots. According to Ellis, Zayas occasionally spends too much time standing directly in front of opponents, allowing exchanges to develop when movement might be the safer option. Against average fighters, that approach may not create major problems. Against someone as explosive and creative as Ennis, however, it could prove extremely dangerous.
Last question, Coach. Big fight coming up. June 27th, Jaron Ennis, Xander Zayas. How you feeling about that?
Man, let me tell you something. Jaron inside 10, maybe 8, maybe inside 5. I like, what's his name?
Xander.
I like him, but I noticed something with him. When he's in offense mode, his head is just sitting there. And you can go back tonight and watch all of his highlights. He don't know how to roll punches. He blocked pretty good. He got angles, but sometimes you gotta roll, and he don't roll. And if a person don't roll, you don't even have to look. All you have to do is go over their shoulder. You're gonna hit it because they don't know how to roll. KO.
Clean shoulder or a systematic breakdown?
It might be a body shot. Boots a bad man.
Why do you think he gets so much criticism?
It comes with the sport, you know.
Former champion Tim Bradley offered a more balanced perspective on the matchup. Bradley praised Zayas for showing tremendous courage by accepting such a dangerous fight at a relatively young age. He believes many fighters would have preferred to take safer routes before facing someone with Ennis' reputation. Bradley also highlighted Zayas' maturity, boxing intelligence, and willingness to test himself against elite competition. Nevertheless, he admitted that Ennis remains one of the most naturally gifted fighters in boxing. While Bradley stopped short of completely ruling out a Zayas victory, he ultimately favored Ennis due to his combination of athleticism, versatility, and experience against high-level opposition.
Speaking of big fights though, Tim, this is the biggest fight, I think, for fight fans. Well, I think it was Virgil Ortiz and Boots, but we're getting Xander Zayas putting his 2 belts on the line at 154 against Boots, who's arguably one of the most talented fighters in the world. Zayas is going in as the underdog, even though he's the champion. Is he going into the fire too quickly? He's still a young kid against a guy like Boots, who has so many weapons in his repertoire.
Look, I mean, I'm 50-50 on that. Look, Xander Zayas has never been a normal, how can I say this? He's always been mature for his age. He's already done this before. You know, he signed with Top Rank and the dude was like a junior in high school. Right. You know, he was young as hell. But the way he handles himself outside the ring, he's always handled himself as a professional, and it's like he's been here before. It's like nothing fazed him. so it doesn't surprise me that he's like, I want Boots. He's always said that he wanted to fight Boots. He's always said and told me that he's always wanted to fight Virgil Ortiz. He said he's like, I'll beat, Fedora. He said that too. He's like, I'll beat Fedora. I'll beat him right now, But I feel like from a talent standpoint, and he is talented as well. Xander has a really boxing high IQ. He does. And you can tell not only in the ring, but you can tell outside, even when he does commentary. He's an extremely smart kid, or young man, I should say. But at 23, 2 belts, and you want to face that guy? I'm like, man, what? If I'm managing him, I'm like, man, come on, bro. Calm your ass down real quick. You know what I'm saying? I get it. We can maybe beat him, but shit, we unsure. I don't know.
As fight night continues approaching, opinions remain divided throughout the boxing community. While the majority of experts appear to favor Boots Ennis, there is growing respect for the challenge that Xander Zayas represents. One side sees a generational talent moving into a new division with something to prove. The other sees a young champion determined to shock the world and establish himself as one of boxing's biggest stars. Regardless of who ultimately wins, this matchup promises to answer important questions about both fighters. Will Boots successfully conquer another division and continue his rise toward boxing superstardom? Or will Xander Zayas deliver the performance of his life and produce one of the biggest upsets of the year? The answers will finally arrive when they step into the ring on June 27th.